You know that moment when your blood pressure raises, your face gets hot, your palms get sweaty, you can't think clearly? The moment that you walk into a room or meet somebody new. Trust me, I've been there too, and I'm here to teach you that confidence is not a personality trait. It is actually something you build. It's a skill. By the end of this video, you'll understand how your brain, body, and nervous system works so that you can actually build and rewrite this current version of you to become the confident version of you that you've been dreaming about so that you can meet new friends, you can publicly speak, and you feel confident in your own skin. I used to be so terrified of speaking up when I was in high school. My head, yes, would not be able to think clearly. My blood pressure would raise and my palms would get sweaty and I would forget what I'm saying. I thought back then confidence was also a personality trait, because they were just born with it. And why shouldn't they feel confident? They look amazing. They're so smart. I love her energy. She's just like that all the time. No, honey, that is not the case. And we are going to build you to that exact person. This video isn't going into affirmations and fake it till you make it kind of energy. This is the actual science, physiology, and psychology behind the reason why you are feeling stuck in being more confident. And this is no BS. This is exactly what I've done to get me to be the most confident and outgoing version of me that you know me as today. So welcome to the channel that helps you become her. Confident, consistent, and in control of her life. I'm your host, Amelie Grace, and we talk everything here about mindset, discipline, and designing and embodying your dream life. So let's get right into it and start with the foundation. What's actually happening in your brain when you are trying to be confident? So we are starting with your brain because confidence is not built through the mirror or through affirmations or faking it till you make it, like I just said. It's actually built from consistency, from building the skill. It's actually built on the pattern that your brain is currently running. So what I mean by that, there are billions of tiny little highways in your brain called neural pathways. And these roads connect everything from your thoughts, your actions, to your beliefs about yourself. So every time you act or believe a certain way, your brain sends electrical signals down those pathways. So do it once and it's a dirt road. But if you do it every day, it becomes a highway. So every single time you walk into a new room and you tell yourself, I feel uncomfortable being seen, I'm not going to sit at the front, your brain has just built a self-doubt highway, because that is something you have constantly believed every time you walk into a new classroom. And it's not because you're not confident, it's because your brain has been hardwired to keep you safe. Your brain has not ever been hardwired to make you successful. It's to keep you safe, which is why keeping you safe, silent, and hiding in the corner feels safe, because being seen sitting at the front feels like danger. And anything that resembles danger, your brain will do everything in its power to avoid that. But that kind of safety has come at a cost, hasn't it? I used to be the exact same when I bit my tongue instead of speaking up, or saying it's fine when it's really not, and when you smile through the discomfort instead of standing your ground. That is the very moment that your brain has put in another vote into saying, see, hiding keeps us safe. But I'm here to tell you the truth, that silence does not keep you safe. It keeps you small and stuck in this life that you have been wanting and dreaming of getting out of. But here is where things can actually shift, because the same brain that learned to keep you silent and safe is the exact same one that can make you confident and consistent with it. And it's called neuroplasticity. It's the brain's ability to rewire itself, because neurons that fire together wire together. So when you make small promises and you actually follow through, you wake up at that alarm at 5 a.m. You go for that walk and you speak up once. You talk to a new person once. Your brain will release the dopamine chemical, and your brain will take that chemical and reinforce that behavior because it means something good. And your brain will start believing that I'm a person who can follow through. And that is how confidence is built. It's not through pretending, it's through the proof. So every act that you follow through on strengthens the pathway of, I can do this and I crushed it every time. But if you don't follow through, it builds the pathway of, I can't do it. And just from following through on your word creates the foundation and the difference between the woman who walks into a room confident as hell versus the one who hides and sits in the back of the corner. But the thing is, you can't just rewrite your brain and expect the world to be sunshine and rainbows. You actually have to rewrite your body as well, because your nervous system still believes that you are in danger the moment you step up for a presentation. And I know that you've gone through this, and me too. Your brain shuts off. You can't think about anything. So let's now talk about what your body does when you're trying to scream to it, be confident. So I know I've tried to tell my body, just be confident. It's okay, we're safe, it's all good. And you can try and convince yourself, but it still feels like you're about to fight a bear or something's going to eat you. And your body actually can't tell the difference between this is a presentation and something is going to eat me. And why this happens is because the moment you step into anything new, uncomfortable, or challenging, your amygdala, the part of your brain that senses danger, is activated. And this is when your adrenaline spikes and cortisol floods your body. Your heart races, your mouth dries, your palms get sweaty, you can't think clearly, your head gets hot. And it's literally your body screaming, don't die in this presentation. When that happens, there is a disharmony with your brain trying to say, we are safe, it's okay, and your body going, nope, we're about to die, I'm out. So you see the difference. There's no harmony here, and there is no ability for you to actually be a confident person until you learn how to regulate your nervous system. Brain fact here, your prefrontal cortex is actually the thing that makes you stop thinking and talking properly the moment you feel any sense of danger in your body. So when you have frozen mid-conversation and forgotten what you were going to say, that's not your lack of confidence. It's literally your biology hijacking your system. And a part of this starts with the vagus nerve. It's the nerve that runs from your spine into your gut. It is massive, and it is like a safety switch. So the moment that you slow down, stop what you're doing, take 10 deep breaths through the nose and out the mouth, say something you're grateful for, say something nice about yourself, reaffirm that you're safe, look at someone that you trust, you activate that nerve and it says, I'm safe, it's okay, I feel relaxed. So yes, breathing exercises, doing all of that actually does work. It is not woo-woo. And that is why regulating your nervous system is not optional. It's not a nice to have, it's a need to have. Because when your body finally feels safe, your brain can actually focus on rewriting and rewiring to support the life that you actually want to be living and becoming. And that is a huge difference on the woman who speaks with calmness in her words, with assertiveness, versus the one who shakes, can't remember what she's saying. It's the exact same words, it's just different physiology. And every time that you stop and regulate your nervous system, you are teaching your brain that it is safe in any of those situations. And again, the more times that you do that, it helps the neural pathways in your brain. Something I have always loved to do is go up to new people to get myself out of my comfort zone. And this is actually present in my relationship with my partner. So, little story time. I used to date him 4 years ago when I was 15, and how we met is through pure serendipity. I saw him one time when I was with some friends, and I went up to him and his friend group. I introduced myself to all of them and him, and yeah, we started getting along really well, and then we started dating. But through the whole time, I hadn't learned to regulate my nervous system just yet. So I was shaking. I couldn't think clearly. My palms were sweaty. I was just laughing and trying to make jokes and stuff like that. But yeah, I have gone up to so many people in order to get myself out of the comfort zone. And now I can go up and do that to anybody. I am so much more confident than I was at 15 now that I'm 20. And so because I've been doing that for 5 years, just think of the place that I'm in. I walk into a room and I feel so confident. I don't feel out of place. I sit at the front. I talk in the class. I raise my hand. I ask questions. I talk to new people. I'm your living, breathing example of what you want to become and how to actually get there. And a huge part of it is getting outside of your comfort zone, because your comfort zone equals your confidence zone. And that sounds nice and inspirational, but it's not optional. I will tell you that, because everything inside that little comfort zone is where your brain thinks it's safe, which is everything that you're doing right now. And I will tell you right now, and anybody who is successful will tell you this too. If you stay inside your comfort zone for forever and ever, you can't expect to live any kind of life that is different from the one you are living now. Why? Because the moment that you step outside of your comfort zone, it is new, challenging, and uncomfortable. And in those situations is when you grow, because you are forced to think of something new. You are forced to be adaptive. You are forced to be responsive and change. So of course, if you stay where it's safe and nice and pretty with the flowers and the sunshine, nothing is ever going to hurt. You are too comfortable there. So, yes, if you stay where you are, you don't challenge yourself, you don't do anything new, you are going to have the same life forever. Literally forever. There is not going to be anything different. But yeah, you will have the new job, you will have the car, things around you will change, but you will still be the same. Your life will still be the exact same, just a different font. And yeah, that should scare you. It did for me too. That's why I did things that made me go out of my comfort zone, because I did not want to keep living that life. And I don't want that for you either. That is why this channel exists. So you don't have to be there anymore. And a quote I've carried that has said this perfectly has transformed my life. And it is, if you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you've always got. I will say that again. If you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you've always got. So here's the next piece of advice. You do not have to leap into change and do everything new and just force yourself out into the deep end. You just have to prove that stepping outside is not dangerous, which means speaking up once in class, talking to a new person. And the more that you do the things that make you uncomfortable day by day, even if it's uncomfortable, your brain updates and it starts to believe that this new thing isn't dangerous anymore. It's actually safe. I feel comfortable here. And the moment you feel comfortable is when you need to expand again. Just think about it like this. The first time that you drove a car where your palms sweaty, did you think you were going to crash and kill everyone in the car and on the road? I know that was me too. But now, like, I know you and I, we can sing in the car, drink coffee, and drive perfectly fine without any lack of confidence. And it's purely based on repeating the thing that made you uncomfortable. And that is when confidence starts to become your default and not your dream. Even if your brain, body, nervous system, comfort zone are all in the same boat, there's still one last thing that hijacks everything. And without this one thing, there's no point. You have to master your subconscious identity. This is the part that still whispers when nobody's watching, I'm not that kind of person. Who am I to do that? I should not sit at the front. I don't want people looking at me. A lot of people think that they can change their results based on the skills and building new habits. But that is actually the tip of the iceberg. I want you to think of this change like an iceberg. That is your values, your belief, and your identity. And change can only happen once you have built a congruent alignment with all these three that align with your future version of you that you want to embody. So yes, we've worked on the first two, but now we need to work on your identity. Because if you don't believe you are that kind of person, if you don't believe you are a confident woman, then nothing else in your life will change. Why? Because we act from our beliefs. If I believe, oh my God, I'm not confident enough to talk on camera, like, I wouldn't have a YouTube channel. It's literally as simple as that. And I've suffered with thinking things about myself, which is why when I started YouTube, I was not consistent with posting because I didn't believe my advice was good enough. I didn't believe I was the kind of person who could be helpful. So yes, you can change all the things you do under the sun. You can fake it till you make it. But if you actually don't believe that kind of person that you want to be, there's no point because you can't build a new identity with the same one that you've got, which ties back into if you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you've always got. I find this very interesting because how your brain has actually built up this identity is through your childhood. So look back, genuinely look back and ask yourself, when in my childhood did I not feel good enough, safe to feel seen, safe to speak up? Why do I think I'm not someone who is good enough? Why do I think I'm not worthy enough? Because that identity then shapes your beliefs about yourself. For example, I still believe that I am not good enough to get to my dream. So because I have that identity, I believe that my advice isn't good enough. Nobody really cares about my content. And it's okay if I have a break for a while. But I don't want to keep living in this situation and this circle, which is why I'm doing the exact same work that I'm teaching you again now. And I have seen the changes and it is honestly astounding. And honestly, it wasn't until I stopped believing I can't help anyone, my advice is shit, to I quite literally have transformed people's lives. And this isn't a belief anymore. This is a fact. And it is shaping the new identity about myself that I am good enough. I do help people. I am amazing at what I do. And it did feel fake at the start because I didn't believe that I could. And something that helps with this is your reticular activating system. It is a part of your brain that starts to scan for something to prove what you've just been thinking about. That is why when you start thinking about red cars, you'll start to see it everywhere. It's that part of your brain being activated. So when I say I'm confident and I have the ability to help people, my brain starts to find micro little achievements and evidence to support that claim. It's the exact same as writing your essay. You need evidence to support what you're saying. So to help you do this, I want you to pause this video very shortly and stop what you're doing, everything. Put your notepad and pens down, pause the video, close your door. Take 10 deep breaths in the nose and out the mouth. And say something to yourself that you want to start believing about yourself. And this isn't woo-woo. This is actually how you start to rewire everything in your body to support the confident version that you want to become. So say to yourself, rather than I'm not confident, I trust myself. Instead of I hate being seen, visibility is safe, and I'm just awkward, to I'm confident with people every day. And the more that you do that in any situation that you can, your brain will start to hardwire and fire down pathways that you actually want to be living. And the old ones, the ones that used to support your current, gonna be soon, old life, they will become dirt roads and eventually disappear. And you'll have the new, confident, radiant version that you have become. I am proof of that. So because you're watching this, I know that you will get to that state too. Please subscribe because every single video here is tailored just for you to help build the systems, mindset, and identity of your dream life. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next video.